Hey guys, welcome back to Hendrickson Family Farm. In today's video, we're going to be talking about new beginnings. New beginnings on the farm, homestead, whatever kind of property you have. You want to call it a farm or you want to call it a homestead. That's entirely up to you. But one thing's for sure, on a farm and a homestead, there's always lots of new beginnings. And for one of the new beginnings we have today on the farm, it's actually a couple days ago, we got us some new little baby pigs. Well, let me get a better picture of them there for you. There they are. They're a little hungry right now because I just got home and haven't fed yet. It is something with a new beginning here on the farm. Well, and that's something to be excited about, is the new beginnings on the farm. It's always neat to see new animals come on the farm. You raise them, you feed them, you take care of them, and then in the end, they take care of you. That's always neat for me to be able to show my kids that there are some constants on the farm as well with having livestock. So we have our breeding livestock, so our goats, our cows, and we also do have pigs for breeding purposes, but we went ahead and got some more because we got a good deal on them, and they're pretty hard to come by. So any extra feeder pigs that we can get are a good thing. We'll show you this dog real quick. She's just sitting there wanting me to pet her. So anytime that you can have the constants on the farm, does it help reduce the cost of having the animals? When I say the constants, I'm talking about the breeding pairs. So like the goats or the sows or the cows or the chickens, does it reduce the cost in your pocketbook by raising them yourself? It doesn't always work out that way in my experience. With pigs, it works out for us a lot of times just to buy them. For what it costs to buy the feeder pigs, it's almost cheaper to buy them instead of having a breeding set. Now, it doesn't always work out, and it also depends on your region, and that's what a lot of people don't understand. Whenever I say it's cheaper for me to buy feeder pigs, I know what it costs me to buy the feeder pigs. I can't raise a sow and a boar on that money that I bought those 3 pigs for. So on a small operation, if you find another farmer that maybe perhaps raises pigs or cows or goats, if that's what you're wanting to raise for your meat production. We don't eat the goats for meat production. We raise the goats for strictly they started out as for show animals, and now they make a pretty good profit for the farm. So that's where one of the source of incomes for the farm comes from. That and hay, and this year we didn't get any hay, so cheaper or more beneficial to raise it on your own farm or your own property by yourself. That's for you guys to decide, because there's a lot of satisfaction knowing that's where all of my meat came from. I produced the piglet and I fed the piglet out to market weight and processed it. Or if you're okay with that, if you're okay on buying the pig from another producer and just feeding it out because the cost just works out better for you, that's another good way to do it. And for me, it's not so much the cost of it to raise it yourself versus the reward of producing it and teaching my kids this is how you take care of an animal, or take care of a breeding set of animals, because there's a difference. There's a difference on how you take care of a feeder pig versus a breeding set of pigs. The different kinds of feed that you have to feed them. If you're feeding, or if you're doing pasture-raised pigs, you know, I don't have much of experience on pasture-raised pigs. We grow where I grew up and how we raise the pigs here. We feed the pigs because I don't have enough. I say I don't have enough. I probably have enough where I could probably put them on like put some pens up and put them on pasture. I could make it work. But that's just not the way that I like to do it. I like to do pens, and we put them on full feed, and the grow time is significantly shorter by putting the pigs on feed versus pasture-raised pigs. Now, I'm not saying that there's not people that are getting pasture-raised pigs in a decent amount of time, but where you can grow these 3 piglets that we have right back behind me, they can be ready to go to the processor by February. And that's putting them on feeding them twice a day, or putting them on a full feeder where they eat when they want to, not whenever it's convenient for me to feed them. So you just have to find something that works for you. And I'm not criticizing anybody for the way that they raise their animals. As long as you take care of them and they're healthy, I can't ask you to do a different job. The biggest thing when it comes to raising livestock, you have to find something that works for you, because every environment, and I've seen tons of people on YouTube say it's in black and white, you can only raise a pig on a pasture, that's the only way to do it. That's not true. There's tons of people that raise pigs on concrete pads, and actually concrete is actually good for a pig because it can helps regulate their body temperature a lot easier. So, but that's a subject for another conversation. But what I'm getting at is there's tons of ways to raise a pig. You have to figure out methods, whether it be 5 different methods or 4 different methods. We'll go with 4 different methods. Whether you do it on pasture, or you do it in a pig, or a pen, or you do it on a concrete pad, or you do it in a barn. Look up all the information you can on all the methods that you're going to try, and try to be the most successful at it that you can be. While I'm sitting here rambling on, the girls have been saddling their horses because they're going to be riding this evening. Emma is going to be riding Z again like she normally does, and Ava is actually riding Cammy, one of our other horses that we don't ride very much anymore. This horse can get fat on a dirt lot. I don't know what her metabolism must be extremely slow, because she doesn't get hardly any grain, but that horse will balloon up if it just looks at green grass. Isn't that right, Ava?
Yeah.
One of the pieces of advice that I would give anybody raising pigs, or wanting to raise pigs rather, is don't buy 1, buy 2. The only reason why I say buy 2, or at least buy 2, is because pigs are very competitive eaters. It doesn't matter if you're putting them on pasture or you're putting them in a confined pen and raising them that way on feed. Pigs really like to have another companion to be competitive against. Just about anybody that raises hogs can tell you that. Now, is that to say that there's some breeds that won't succeed with just 1? Absolutely not. Surely there is somewhere. One of the other things I find very interesting, way to save money on the farm, and it's not necessarily that's not what it was designed to do, is to save money. And my purpose, it was because I just wanted to do it here on the farm. That way I could teach the kids how to cut and bale and put up our own hay. And it ended up being a huge benefit to be able to buy the round baler. I have a square baler over there, and the equipment to do it. I was very fortunate when I found that round baler, it's not the greatest. It's not a big, nice John Deere baler like I would like to have, but it gets the job done. The same thing with my square baler. It's an old it's a 214 WS. I think it's 214. I'm pretty sure it's 214. And I run all of the equipment on an older John Deere tractor. It's a 2030 John Deere tractor. And the only thing I don't do on that tractor really is the disc mower. I do have a sickle bar I can cut with if I needed to, but a friend of mine has a disc mower which speeds the process up drastically. And that's one of the things that we do here on the farm. We try to do as much, produce as much as we can, because producing hay not only saves me from having to buy it, but all the extra hay that I have, I'm able to sell and get a cash crop off of my hay. Now, this year it did not work out that way because we're in a pretty good drought here in Oklahoma. So guys, the moral of what I'm trying to say is there's always new things coming and going on the farm. Whether it be livestock equipment like this old John Deere baler or disc mower, you have to do what's right for you in your particular situation. Well guys, that's going to be it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it, listening to me ramble. If you did enjoy it, hit that thumbs up button, and I'd like you to subscribe, come back. We're trying to get to the 1,000 mark. It seems like we have hit a roadblock. We just hit that wall and we cannot climb on the subscriptions, and I'm not really sure why or what I'm doing, or if I even need to keep doing it. I don't know. It's kind of frustrating, but we'll keep going because I'm having a good time making the videos. Catch you next time. Have a good one.